Happy St. Paddy's Day, my fellow Irish people. Today, in honor of that, I'm actually going to go away from the Women's Month thing that I've been doing and actually just do an Irish film, kind of. I'm going to do the Boondock Saints. So, without further ado, here we go. It was released in 1999. Actually, director Troy Duffy said it was inspired by seeing a drug dealer rob a corpse outside of his apartment. That's pretty messed up. And so obviously he just felt the need, like why aren't people doing about it? And you can hear some of that in the film, especially whenever they're talking to when the brothers are talking to Rocco about why they're doing what they're doing. And so if you don't know what it is, these two brothers that have a vision from or a spiritual awakening from God, or I mean presumably God or something, and they it tells them, whatever tells them that, you need to basically cleanse the earth of this evil. So they are kind of reborn, so to speak. So they, listen, and that's what they're doing. And this whole time, they're kind of leaving a trail of bodies, and Willem Dafoe is on the case, and he is trying to figure out why they're doing it, what they're doing, and all that. But yeah, actually the brothers are played by Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery, and I don't think anybody could have done it better. But I will say this, I did look, and the brothers were originally sought to be Stephen Dorff and Mark Wahlberg, and while I do think that could have been decent, it probably that would have been great, but others also included Brendan Fraser, gotta love that man, Nicky Katt, and Ewan McGregor. I don't think I know who Nicky Katt is, but the rest of those actors, I do like them, except for Ewan McGregor. But Brendan Fraser, Stephen Dorff, and Marky Mark, I think really could have probably done it okay, but I really think what we got with Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus really is top notch, what we needed to get. And and then those were for the brothers, and then Smecker, who ended up being Willem Dafoe, which is I think the perfect choice. Actually, he had Patrick Swayze, Sylvester Stallone, Bill Murray, Mike Myers, Kevin Spacey, and Robert De Niro. And while I think that Willem Dafoe once again is the only one that could have pulled off that role, looking back to the 1999 Robert De Niro, I think could have pulled that off, because that was when he was still making good movies, and still gave a crap. Kevin Spacey, and we're talking strictly on acting, I know that, but maybe. I mean, he's a great actor, but I don't know. Bill Murray, it probably would have been a little too comedic. I like Bill Murray, but it wouldn't have been serious enough, I don't think. Mike Myers, kind of the same. I'm not the biggest fan of him outside of, Austin Powers, basically. Sylvester Stallone, maybe. And Patrick Swayze. That probably would have been one of the better choices. I don't know if it still would have fit. Like I said, I think the casting in this was perfect, so I definitely think that Willem Dafoe needed the role and should have gotten the role, but maybe Patrick Swayze. I'll give him that. But anyway, so the film is just great. It's it was a really low budget. It barely cost anything to make, and basically it was just a passion project. It ended up being, and this is one of those films, the first time I saw it, it was like, dude, that's the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And to this day, it really is still one of my favorite films ever. I love it to death. And there was so of course there's a sequel, Boondock Saints 2, All Saints Day. There is a comic book written about it, and also a video game. I have not played the video game or read the comic book, but the Boondock Saints 2 sequel is decent, and of course that was back in 2009, and we've been waiting since then for Boondock Saints 3. And I looked that up just so I could talk about it real quick. It is set to happen. I don't know when. The script is written. I think the filming might have started, and they did get Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus back, because there was a little back and forth for a while that they weren't going to be in the film. And for me, they are the movie, so I wasn't going to see it without them. But since they are back, I am excited to see it. And what more can I say? It's a great film, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. It's probably one of my top 10 favorites, actually. And it's just incredible. And for as much of kind of, I think it's become a kind of cult classic, because I don't really think it was much, I don't think many people talked about it at the time, but definitely, I had never heard about it whenever I first watched it. And like I said, when I watched it, it was love at first view. I loved it. And, but yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. And check out the sequel. It is good. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have the third one out within the next, hopefully, 3 years-ish. I mean, we waited this long. That wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, let me know what you think. And happy St. Patty's Day. And I will continue with another women's history, whatever, for the next one. But until then, take it easy.